guys, we have another home tour for you. This is FHL, and we share home tour, home inspiration, all things home, really. And Shannon is not a newbie here. She has shared her home many times, but this is a new home. And not only is it new, but the before and afters, the transformation is just shocking.
So Shannon, for the people who haven't heard yet, how did you acquire this house?
I came to the estate sale here.
Yeah.
And I decided that I wanted to buy the house.
And your husband?
I had to convince my husband.
Let you go to another estate sale.
Now I'm not allowed to go to an estate sale anymore.
Yeah.
Or I just don't tell him.
This is your biggest estate sale purchase yet.
Yes. And I have actually gone to an estate sale since we bought this house. And he'll say, don't call me over there. If I say, oh, I'm going to an estate sale, he'll say, I'm not coming to the estate sale with you. Do not call me and tell me to come look at this house.
No. So good. Okay. So let's start in this main area. When you walk in, we weren't sure what you were going to make this first room. What do you call this area?
I mean, I think it's so hard to explain, but I think it's kind of an entryway, but also part of the kitchen because we opened up that wall. It was like a living room. They had the fireplace right there. So they had it as a living room, but it was closed off. So once we opened that wall, it kind of became part of the kitchen. So that's why I put that table there. And
well, one of the things that I love about design and just the out-of-the-box thinking that you've created with this home is that it flows all the way around from this dining entry to the kitchen to the larger dining space and then the seating area. I don't know that I would have made this choice, but now that you've done it, it's perfect.
Thank you.
You also opened up the stairs, which was super closed in. So between the wall being there and the wall there, which makes it to where, what do we call this room?
We'll kind of call it the parlor room, just another sitting room. It wasn't intentionally supposed to be that. It was in our original architectural plans. It was going to be the laundry room, but the windows right there, we really did not want to lose those windows. So we just opened it up and then it became a challenge of, oh, well, now what kind of room is this going to be? So now we're just calling it the parlor room, the sitting room. I might change them time to time. I might make this the sitting room and make that the dining room. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like having options.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, you host a lot, so this makes sense. You could extend your dining there.
Sure.
Have, kids sit here, adults sit there for Thanksgiving. Everybody needs a kid table spot. But are there different activities you do in different rooms?
Well, actually, on Christmas Eve this year, we did set up a long table here so that we could eat in front of the fireplace.
Oh,
it would have been easy to put it over there, but I don't know. We just wanted that cozy fireplace. So
that's awesome.
But really, for the most part, we just sit in that room for now, and
okay,
we'll see.
So
we haven't even been here in here. So
if you haven't seen the Christmas video, Shannon invited us into her home at Christmas. It was stunning.
So good.
Thank you.
Yes.
So you also have an office here. So it's easy to think, oh, those spaces could have been a home office, but you already had a space that made sense for that.
Right.
And it had the built-ins and you styled them really well and even a powder bath. So it really gives you a secluded space.
Right.
Tell us about designing that space.
Well, when we bought the house, it looked kind of like a log cabin, to be honest with you. So once we ripped out all of that on the walls and added the built-ins, it just kind of came together. I knew I wanted a little color, and honestly, in the beginning, I thought I might do like a deep, dark, moody green.
Yeah.
But that's just not me, and I really had a hard time with that. So I decided just to light green. And it all came together. We don't really call it an office because we don't have a computer or a desk in there. It really is more of like a library.
Yeah.
Where we store all of our office things and books. I have lots of books, things like that. But when my husband he needs to hum office outside of this house, and you'll see that later.
Okay.
Or another time, because that's actually not finished.
So what was that space? I can't remember.
It was, I think, because that bathroom had a shower in it. So I really think it was another bedroom.
Okay.
But it was very small. It was way too small to be a bedroom. So
yeah.
That's when I made that decision to make it more of a
You're
library.
so sophisticated. You have a parlor and a
library.
That's funny. I think about those names. Like, what am I going to call this room?
Well, that's what they would have called it maybe in the original farmhouse,
Maybe.
right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, when we write the blogs and put the photos in, I always have to have a title for the room. So I like to ask just so I know. And if you do want to see all the photos, those are on the blog. So let's jump to the kitchen, which I would say is the biggest transformation in this house.
Oh, for sure. And it is the room that I think I spent the most time and detail in.
And probably the most money as well.
Yeah, probably. Well, we added on the master bedroom and bathroom, so of course that cost more because it was a new build. But yeah, it was the most time and very thoughtful. Like I really put a lot of thought into how am I going to use this kitchen. I cook, I do a lot of baking, things like that. So I wanted to make sure that it was perfect for me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't worried about everybody else. It was how I use my kitchen. So I put a lot of thought and time into that.
Well, you opened it up a lot because it wasn't open to the dining room.
Oh, for sure.
It wasn't open to this space. And really, it didn't even really open up to what is now your butler's pantry.
Right, exactly. That was actually outside. The butler's pantry was outside. And when we needed to make the decision to not put the laundry room over there, we had to come up with a place to put the laundry room.
Yeah.
So that's why we put the butler's pantry / laundry room. We had to kind of add on and close that area for that.
I think my favorite thing about the kitchen, butlers, all of it, is just the use of furniture looking pieces and also textiles. Like we've done so well with lampshades and all the different patterns that you've mixed together. And so that makes it so cozy and warm because it's not traditional.
Well, I think that if you're going to have a white kitchen, that you really need to do those things because then it tends to be too white.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to add texture, pattern, things like that.
Yeah.
I think to pull off a white kitchen.
I agree.
So that's how I feel.
What's your favorite thing about the kitchen?
Honestly, that light fixture and those lampshades.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
Well, okay. One thing that I know people are going to ask is number one, the paint color. Number two, the countertops. Do you know the names of either?
I know the paint color is Snowbound on the walls and pure white on the cabinets. The countertops, I don't know. I know there's something gold, maybe Calico gold.
Calcutta gold.
Yeah, because I was very concerned that it said gold because I didn't want gold. I wanted tan.
Yeah.
I did not want gray.
Right.
But that's a quartz, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Which we do have a whole video about countertop options, quartz, quartzite, soapstone, granite, all the things. So we did actually mention that Calcutta gold in that video. So you venture off. Well, I want to make sure actually the butler's pantry, we need to give it a little bit more conversation because you have some really great color in there. The fabric choice on your little cabinets and the flooring. Tell us about your choices in there.
Well, it just kind of all came together. Believe it or not, I found the light fixture when I was thrifting one day. And so it kind of all came around that light fixture and also the lampshades in the kitchen. I picked wallpaper to go on the ceiling in that room that coordinates with the lampshades out here. So once I did all that tan and white, I needed more browns to go with the greens instead of any other color, I think. So, because I knew I was painting the built-ins green and cabinets green. So I don't know. It's funny. I bought other light fixtures. I returned them. They were too gray. And then it just all started coming together once I found that light fixture. I had already purchased light fixtures from Ballard Designs that had lampshades that were beautiful too, but they were just too charcoal and too gray.
Yeah.
And I was really struggling with that. And then once I found the other light fixture, it just kind of fell into place.
So is the green in the butlers also the green in the office or the library?
No, they're actually different, but very similar. They're actually right next to each other on the card. I'll get that for you. Okay, I'm not remember off the top of my head. But I went with one a little lighter in the laundry room because it was a more closed space, and I wanted it to be light and bright.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the dining room, you have the same table you had at your old house, which big, long table, beautiful. Tell us some details in that dining room.
I kept that very simple too. I did Snowbound on the walls in there. I did the beadboard trim, the same on the ceiling, on the wall in there. And that's Aesthetic White by Sherwin-Williams. Oh, I have a bench in there, a fabric bench. I love the bench. It doesn't really fit that space, so I am kind of on the hunt for something else to change. But for now, I love the way it looks in there, so I'm looking for something similar. Yeah, I just wanted to have that long table. We have a big family. We all sit at the table together. I wanted to be able to keep that table and have space for that.
Yeah.
So the last room on this floor, that is living is your family room, and now that is originally the garage, right?
Well, yes, but they converted that before we moved in. They had already converted that from the garage to the family room when we moved in. When we first bought the house, there were considerations, and we met with the architect. Should we make that the master bedroom? There's plumbing on that side, but ultimately we really loved the fireplace in there for family, for a family space. It really does feel, the minute I walked in this house, even before we did any remodeling, it felt like a family lived here.
Yeah.
In that room, I could picture us around our Christmas tree, watching Christmas movies, Easter, sitting in there watching movies. You know, I could just feel my family in that room. I feel like the fireplace in that room. It just, and it's so old fashioned, and I know you don't see that in a lot of houses nowadays, but the fact that you step down into it, I don't know, it just makes it cozier to me. I love that.
I don't think you'd ever know it was originally a garage.
No. It was a little challenging with the walls because you had that garage floor at the bottom, but we have some really great contractors that were able to figure that out for us.
Yeah, it was pretty choppy entering that room originally.
Yeah.
But what's cool in there is your little bar.
So it had a wet bar. No. I'm sorry. I think it was a wet bar. It had a sink, but they had a lot of games and things in there. And our first thought was that it backs up to the little bathroom in the study or library. And so our first thought was, oh, well, we can make the bathroom bigger. But then we had this thought, why do we need to make the bathroom bigger?
Yeah.
So we kept it as a wet bar because it becomes ideal storage for all of our wine glasses, all of those specialty glasses, things like that. And we love it, but you don't find that in a lot of new houses.
No, it adds character, but also that transformation was wild.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was red. It was a deep, dark red closet for sure. Had it with a sink.
Which is funny because right now, burgundies, reds, browns, those are trending. I mean, mom's dress color. But that, like you said, moody is trending, but that's not you. That's not your design style. That's not your preference. You really stayed true to yourself. In this home, we see a lot of trending things here, like the color palette and collected. You kind of got a Nancy Myers vibe at the end. So that's definitely trending. But the other things that are trending, you didn't go into that. You went genuinely to who you are.
Yeah. And I've said it a million times, but I am so glad that you made the layout what it is. And I could not imagine it any other way.
Thank you. Yeah. Me either. I do feel like it really all fell into place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go into your primary bedroom.
Okay.
This was not even a part of the original home.
No, we decided to, instead of trying to make one of the spaces the master bedroom or primary bedroom, we just decided to add on the square footage and start with something new. So that was kind of fun. I've always just done a fixer-upper, remodel the house, so to do a new addition was new for me. But yeah, it was fun. You love how it turned out.
Great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
So this is right off that sunroom.
Yes.
That's pretty glorious. But that room honestly looks exactly how it did when you moved in, other than your furniture. Like, it looked like you knew.
The only thing we did in that room was change the light fixture and paint the walls. Now, the drastic change when you look at the sunroom compared to now is when you look outside the windows.
Yeah.
I'll have to show you a video of that, but the backyard looked a lot different. So it made the sunroom look a lot different because it's all windows.
Yeah. So what's your favorite thing in your new bedroom?
Probably the doors. I love having those doors. They open into a dog run. We can just let the dogs out there, especially if it's late at night. I don't know. I just love the doors.
Okay. Speaking of doors, you have another set of doors that came from Antiques and Vintage, which is our favorite. Shout out to Greg. We actually have a full shop with us video, and I have doors from him. You have doors from him. We're using the doors in other projects. So if you're ever looking for some amazing, it is. So, and they're affordable.
Yeah, again, Shannon, I think my favorite is the mix of old and new and how you've thrifted and found stuff, but also, again, even the textiles and the artwork and you even can't tell from the original and the new and the old artwork you have because you get things off of Etsy and then you zhuzh it up. I mean, tell people about, how do you find these things? How do you go about putting these eclectic pieces together?
Give them the exact stuff.
Well, it's really hard to thrift or find artwork. I mean, you can find them in antique stores, but then the colors are off or they're really, really expensive. And I hate to invest that much money in a piece of art because I like to change. If I spend way too much money on a piece of art, then I'm not going to feel comfortable when I get tired of it just changing it. So I always just look on Etsy and search vintage art, vintage summer art, vintage winter art, or whatever it is that I'm kind of looking for. So that right there, that is not a painting. It's actually from Etsy. I printed it on canvas paper at my local Office Depot. And then once I assembled it on the frame, then I just took Mod Podge and made brush strokes all over it to make it appear to be a painting.
Yeah. So our viewers are always asking, like, where can I source that? Where can I find this bedding? But you're just all over the map. So you've got Home Goods, you've got for bedding, you have pillows from even Amazon.
Oh, even Amazon. Or better yet, those summer pillows on my bed right now, the green and blue ones, I found at Belk. So
she's a treasure hunter, which is a skill.
Yeah. And I don't mind treasure hunting at new stores and old stores. I don't care. I'll treasure hunt anywhere.
Yes. Well, your bathroom is also amazing, and you have a beautiful closet. And I have kind of a late housewarming gift for you. So let me show you. Okay. You have this stunning new bathroom. You're probably spending a lot more time. This is much bigger than your other primary bath. So I am sharing Blooming with you, which is an amazing spa-like face tool. So I'm excited to share it with you guys as well. So I've actually got mine in my pocket.
This is really life.
I actually really need this because I don't know if you guys know, but I just turned 50. So I need all the extra help I can get.
You're going to love it.
We've been using it for how long? Probably 2 months. This is something that is kind of like a nice tool at the end of the day to relax. You don't realize how much facial tension you have. But what it does, just like all the youth on TikTok say, makes your face snatched. Which really is just a cool, trendy way of saying it lifts and tones your face. It also has different lights. So it has green light, red light, blue light. So they each do different things. Acne, collagen. It actually helps you absorb your facial products. So if you're spending good money, I actually know a really amazing makeup artist, and she said good makeup is not really the key. It's good skincare. It's your wife, by the way.
But also, Shannon, if you want to really see how it transforms your face, do one side first and then stop and look at yourself in the mirror, and you're going to be shocked.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yes. So you'll be able to do this tonight. I did this before I came to the tour. Very excited for you to try. If you want to try, I actually have a discount code if you use the description below. Thank you, Blooming, for bringing us this amazing tour and giving Shannon a really amazing new tool to use in this amazing bathroom. So we can put our skincare tools away to talk about this bathroom. So this was also an addition.
Yes.
This is amazing. Tell us about your design choices in here.
Well, actually, this was my most challenging out of everything in the house. I felt like everything else was natural and just fell together. This one, I did a lot of work to get it to what it is. I'm not, and I've said this before on our other videos, I'm not a tile girl. I really struggle with it. I have to call all my friends and say, do you like this? Do you like this? Does this go? So, I mean, I did fall in love with this tile and knew I had to make it work. So that's why I chose to do it all over that wall instead of just halfway up. But yeah, I also had remodeled the other bathroom in the other house. So I did feel a little bit more experience. And so I knew what I wanted as far as cabinets, vanities. I drew those out for the guy and he made them for me, showed him some pictures off Pinterest. Yeah, it did. I won't say it didn't all kind of fall together into place, but it did take a lot more work for me.
Yeah.
You did a great job. Now this is the Calcutta again.
Yes.
In here.
Yes.
I love the way you used it as a backsplash behind.
Yeah.
That was a Pinterest idea. Actually, I can't take credit for it.
Perfect.
I love it. I actually didn't notice it last time. I love that it's minimal, but it's also makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm wondering, how did it work with the quartz?
So the beveled edge where they do that design, sometimes they say that you can't do that with all man-made stone. So I am curious, but maybe you just can do it with quartz. Maybe it's like that all the way through.
Yeah, I have no idea. I just showed him the picture and said, can you make that happen? Really? I mean, I wanted to do that quartz in here, I knew, because once again, I really tried to steer away from a lot of gray in this house.
Sure.
So, and honestly, we were towards the end of the project and I needed to save a little bit of money. So by using the same quartz throughout the house, then you have less cutting of slabs. Yeah.
right.
You can save a little money that way. And then in our laundry room and the bathrooms upstairs, we just did plain white.
Okay.
To compensate, to balance out the price.
So the last
a little bit.
that people are going to ask us about is the floor, because we haven't talked about it in either rooms. So tell us really quickly about the floor.
I know. And I mean, it's the question that I get asked the most. And I honestly have the name of it in my notes on my phone so that I can copy and paste it when everybody asks what it is, because I'm getting so many questions about it. But I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but it's actually waterproof luxury laminate flooring or luxury vinyl. I'm not sure, one of those two. My husband made that decision. I just knew I wanted waterproof because we have 4 dogs, we have kids, we definitely live in our house. And I knew I did not want to put tile in my bathroom. Not because I don't love tile in the bathroom, but because I knew I didn't think I could do that.
Yeah.
I felt very nervous about the tile, and I loved that tile up there so much. I did not want to ruin it by putting a tile that didn't go well in here. So we have carried it all the way through.
Well, approved.
While we're here, how is it holding up?
It's holding up great. We have a 17-year-old wiener dog, and it's holding up with her. So yeah, it's perfect. No scratches, which is kind of amazing for me because our other floor had some scratches on it from just dogs and normal wear and tear.
Yeah.
And I can't believe how easy it is to clean. So I really can't say enough about it. I think it's probably the best decision we made in this house.
Wow.
For our family.
Yeah.
For our family.
Okay, speaking of decisions for the house, you made a new big decision by redoing the shed into a pool house. So let's go show him. Welcome to the most beautiful pool house you've ever seen. This is new. You knew you were going to do this when you bought the house, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you've got Amazon, you've got Target, you've got
Ballard Designs.
Well, Ballard's fancy, but I'm talking like you've got budget hacks.
Oh,
in
for
this
sure.
space.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you kind of have to balance it all if you want a cute little Ballard coffee table. Then you gotta find another place to save a little money.
Yeah.
So you said that tile choices are your hardest. The hardest for me is wallpaper because it's such a big commitment. So I really have analysis paralysis. So maybe I help you with tile and sometimes you help me with wallpaper.
This is like so amazing.
I don't consider myself a wallpaper expert by any means. We were in a little bit of a time crunch when I decided that I needed that to be wallpapered. And I had a different wallpaper picked out that when I had to change the flooring in here, I realized I did that all in my hands.
Oh,
When I changed the flooring in here, the new wallpaper, the old wallpaper that I had picked did not work at all with that. So I had to hurry up and find new wallpaper. And you won't believe it, that's Amazon wallpaper.
that's so good. It has that vintage feel. It goes with your overall vibe of your house. And you also have this, I really thought you thrifted that platter, those plates. That's the Target Studio McGee line.
Yes.
But don't try to find it.
They sold out really quick. That's the thing about outdoor. Every year I look, because we have a pool, you need outdoor dishes. You got to swipe them up quick because I feel like they just don't make enough of them.
No,
They sell out so fast.
yeah. Now you know. I did not know. That's news to me.
If those are Target, the hats are all thrifted. All the cute towels, TJ Maxx, Home Goods.
So good. Okay, you also have a frame TV in here, which it's not wired yet, but
It's not wired yet. We just finished this project last week, so Still doing some cleanup.
Did you make the frame?
No, my contractor made them.
Okay.
He made them in the house, so I just had him do it out here too.
But it's not a real frame TV.
No, he made it out of molding from Home Depot.
So
I painted it.
if you don't have a frame TV, you can get the look for less.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of look for less, we're seeing the checkerboard floors. They're very popular. Doing the real marble is not cost effective by any means. Tell us about this flooring.
Well, and it had to be inexpensive because it's next to the pool. So we had to have something that could hold up to any kind of water and kids and things like that. But it's basically just really very inexpensive, like 12 by 12 tiles. And I just bought 2 different colors.
Where'd you get them from?
Floor and Decor.
Ah,
Yeah, so I bought 2 different colors and just had them lay them checked like that. The whole floor costs $300 maybe.
Wow.
there we go.
The tile.
Yes.
You carried it out throughout the rest of the space because on the other side of this wall, tell us about what's going on over there.
So that is going to be where my husband will home office, and it'll be like an extra family room type game room kind of space out there. Kind of like a man cave.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell me how many rooms were going to be his office? Because every time I came and would say, well, I think this will be his office. And now,
Well, I kind of had a little bit of a plan. I did not want his office downstairs in the library because I didn't want to look at all those cords from his big, and his a huge monitor. I did not want to look at all that. So I told him, you can office upstairs in the guest room because you'll be away from the dogs. It'll be so much better for you. Well, he realized that he doesn't really want a home office in the guest room. So the ultimate plan was to get him to move out here, and
it happened.
It worked. Yes.
Well,
Now I don't have to look at cords.
solutions. If you don't want to look at your husband's office cords, just build a stunning pool house
Yeah.
and do some cost-effective things like amazing tile, Amazon wallpaper, etc.
Actually, over on the other side of this, we had extra flooring, so we just used it from inside, used it over there.
Yeah.
Great.
So we saved some money.
One last question here. Where is this picture from?
That's from Amazon also. And I have the same one in the sunroom, but smaller. So I knew I loved that one, so why not order it out?
So when you're on Amazon, do you search? What do you search?
Well, for that, I searched white. It's kind of hard to find white chandeliers, and that's not exactly white, but it's white enough for me.
Wow. I'm really shocked at what quality.
Oh, it is beautiful.
And everything you find on Amazon seems to be, and I mean, we've gotten these real touch flowers, we've gotten different things, but I was always fearful to do something really big like that. And you're doing a great job.
Well, the great thing about Amazon, though, is if you get it in and it looks cheap, then it's so easy to send back.
True.
Honestly, I sent back a few duds along the way.
Okay. So good. Okay. Well, speaking of all the spaces that would have been your husband's office, let's go upstairs.
Oh, Shannon, this room is so cute.
I love it. It's one of my favorite rooms.
Little details make a big impact because you only changed 2 things in this room since we came last. And right?
Yeah. 2. I added some lampshades, but
That the shelf is
the
so
shelf
sweet.
and the bench.
Yeah, and you just have all this milk glass, a variety of milk glass up there. Is that just stuff you've collected?
I just started collecting it when I knew I wanted to put a shelf up there.
Oh,
I thought, what do I want to put on the shelf? And so, I don't know. I decided, I saw a couple of them and decided I needed a lot of them.
Yes. Well, one thing that people are always impressed by is that your headboards are tablecloths. I mean,
These are just Amazon headboards. They were super inexpensive, and I could not find the fabric, and I just ordered Amazon tablecloths and used those instead.
yeah, we've been using that hack lately. We've been buying tablecloths for different things.
Oh, yeah, and shower curtains. I mean, you can find fabric in all kinds of places.
yeah.
Where did these cuties come from?
These are home goods.
Yeah.
These are home goods. And I bought these probably 6 months before we even moved in, because I knew that I wanted this room to feel like a little cottage for my girls. And I thought this was and I was afraid I wouldn't find it later. So I snatched them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your kids had loved growing up in the other house.
Yes.
But you created these dream spaces for them. Your girls have a room and the bathrooms are stunning. I mean,
Everything.
They have choices.
Oh, for
here.
sure. Oh, for sure. But this room, my girls, when they come home, they just camp out together. So this used to be the master, so I knew it would be big enough to put 2 beds in here. And I just wanted them to have a place with their sisters.
Yeah.
Because when they're home, they want to be together. They don't want their own room. So
No. And then you have your son's room, but you've also made preparations for grandbabies because you've got getting married soon.
Yes.
And that is my favorite by far of all the rooms up here.
Yes, I do. That's another one of those rooms that all we did was change the light fixture and paint the walls. That's all we did. We left everything else and just decorated it really cute.
Yeah, the 2 twin beds and the dollhouse. So really every room kind of has the same cottagey vibe, the same color palette, except for your son's room.
Right.
Which was a little moody, but you still didn't go a moody color. You just added.
Well, I just love to mix and match plaids in boys' room. I feel like I've always done that. And I found that quilt, and to me it was a lighter color plaid than your normal dark moody plaid. So I knew that would kind of be perfect in that room. That's a room that I just have fun with, get to do something a little different.
Yeah. Is gingham the same as plaid?
Well, no, but there is gingham in his room too. So you'll notice in every room, there's a little bit of that same pattern almost.
Yeah.
Like gingham headboards in here. Even my son's room, he has plaid bedding, but I mixed it with a gingham comforter at the end of it.
Yeah. So you have threads of these things throughout the whole entire house, right? There's also another thread of your favorite thing throughout the whole house. I'm not going to say what it is, so it's an Easter egg so everyone can look for it.
Yes.
Here we go.
Well, you've either seen one of Shannon's tours to know what her favorite thing is, or you just have an eye for it. But you have kind of softened that.
I don't see as many.
Yeah.
As you. Okay. So the last thing that you changed upstairs is your little office nook, or is that a craft nook? What do you call that?
I mean, it's kind of just like my office space, sort of. We have a little chair and wheels that I wheel out there if I need to sit at my computer. I wrap a lot of presents there. I have my gifts. I keep a little basket of gifts in case I need to throw a little gift together. And
You're crafty
too, like the little craft area, party things like extra paper plates, things like that for parties, but just my own little space.
So you changed it. Before it was just bare at the bottom, and now you have a little hack that you did from a shower curtain.
Yes.
You made a little, the sink curtain, but what do they call that? Little.
I sink curtain, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she put a little curtain. So I texted her. I was like, wow, that is genius. We need to make sure that we show it. And you just found that at TJ Maxx.
Well, I saw the shower curtains at TJ Maxx. I was looking for a shower curtain for my daughter, and I fell in love with that fabric, like that print. Like you can't go to Hobby Lobby or Joann's and find anything like that. You'd have to special order it. But I thought, what can I do with that? And all I did was kind of, luckily for the sizing purposes of that space, I just cut it in 4s and was able to kind of keep the same hem and use a little hem tape to do the loop over and put it over the bar. And
She didn't even sew it.
I didn't even sew it.
I was going to bring some fabric over and have her sew it for me, but she didn't sew. So you're just crafty. You're good at coming up with hacks to make things cost effective, but not look cost effective.
Yes.
And you've just done such a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shannon, you have done such a good job since Christmas, finishing it up. It is so hard to pull this off, from renovation to actually completing, every single detail. That's not a small feat at all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does it feel like home?
It really does. And it's honestly from my heart. I could care less how pretty my house is. Like, I want it to be beautiful. I don't care if it's that clean. I want it to be clean, but most important, I want it to feel like a home. I want it to feel comfortable. I want to be remembered by oh, I went over to Shannon's house and I had the best treat, or I had the best coffee at Shannon's house. I don't really want people to come over and say, oh my gosh, I went over to Shannon's house and it was beautiful. Is that a nice added feature? Obviously, I like to be around pretty things, but I really just wanted this home to feel more like a home.
Yeah.
Because it was not in great shape when we bought it, but it still felt like a home when you walked in.
Yeah.
So that's what really mattered to me, and I wanted to make sure I kept it that same feeling.
You did it.
I did it. Thank you. You did.
Okay, so if someone wants to follow your daily updates, because you really do something probably every day, where can they find you?
On Instagram, in my little white barn, and maybe I'll start blogging again.
Yeah.
That you got this done. You
Now
have time.
I have time. Yes.
Yeah. And you have great recipes. You have great hacks on how to accomplish home affordably, whether it's updating a piece of art or styling, thrifting, finding things at unconventional places like TJ Maxx. You are so good. So definitely need to follow. On our blog post, we have all the photos, all the details. I even will find some lookalikes for shopping links.
And you have Like It to Know It.
Yes.
So if you want the exact links, you can go there, and I will link all of that in the description so it's easy to find. So I think you can close us out, Mom.
Yeah, thanks for having us again. And y'all like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and we'll be back for more.
Yeah.
Bye.